Welcome back, everybody. Episode 10, and today we're just going to be talking about who our God is. And so I'm just going to read some notes that I took while I was at church on Sunday. It might be a shorter episode, but I just want somebody out there to remember who their God is. He's a waymaker. He moves mountains that can feel so rooted and planted to the point it won't move. But remember, He's the God that split a body of water so Moses and his people could walk through. So who are you for God to change His mind about you? In the Bible it says He is the same today, yesterday, and forever. So if He did that a long, long time ago, He could split your Red Sea today. He could split your problems, your doubt, your addictions, your worries, your anxieties, your depression, and so on. Not only that, but create dry land for you to walk through. God is a way maker, a miracle worker, and a promise keeper. His promise to get you through the sea of storms, splitting it, causing you to walk through, will come to pass. He is a man of His word. And what He said will happen. Don't lose faith. Keep holding on. And if you believe in faith, even when unsure, the same way Moses was, when he walked up to the Red Sea, not knowing for certain how in his right mind a sea could even have a possibility of splitting. But we serve a big God, and everything in creation must submit and listen to Him. So trust He can make a way when there is no way. Create a miracle in a dead circumstance, and trust His promises of what He said to you. Jesus and a few of His disciples were in a boat, and before they took off to head out on sea, Jesus spoke to them, "We will get to the other side." And so the storm got bad, and the disciples started worrying and having anxiety, and Jesus said, "Why are you afraid, you of little faith?" He told them before they saw the dangers and doubt and the daunting storm that they went through. He told them before that storm where they were going. Quote unquote, the promise of depression. Quote unquote, the promise of destination. Quote unquote, the promise of destination, ensuring and comforting them with the fact no matter how bad it gets, they will get through it. But they forgot and then they doubted. When Jesus speaks over you about something, He means it. So keep hanging on and have faith and trust our Father. What you're going through and the storms of life that are caving in around you. Just know that our Father is going to get you through to the other side. He's going to cause a way when there is no way. He's going to create a miracle because He spoke a promise over you. You just got to keep fighting and have faith and stay strong. And when you doubt, remind that storm who your God is and how big He is and how sovereign He is over that storm. That the storm doesn't tell God who He is, but our God tells the storm what to do. That our God tells the storm who He is. And they must submit to Him. It's okay to feel out of place. It's okay to not know where to go next. It's okay what you're feeling because you're human. And God doesn't expect you to be higher than that. If you're feeling sad, allow yourself to feel sad. If you're feeling upset, allow yourself to feel upset. If you're feeling confused, allow yourself to feel confused. But don't stare at that storm. Because just like Peter will begin to sink. Remind that storm who your Father is and look at Jesus while you're fighting those battles. In the same way that Moses was walking up to that sea, he had no idea, if for certain, that this sea would split, because in our minds as humans, we deem that as impossible. But whatever impossible situation that you are currently living in, hopeless situation that you're currently living in, just remember who your God is and the promises He gave you. He promised you where you're going. So that means that this storm is nothing. It won't take you out. He already promised you of your destination. You have little faith. Why worry? He promised you. So don't worry when the storm clouds start to roll in and the waters start to get more dangerous. And the skies get dark. Because your Jesus is with you in your boat. He is with you. Just remember who your Father is. And I'm speaking to myself right now. I truthfully been trying to put off this podcast episode. But then if I continue to put it off, I'm not allowing my Father to comfort me with His words. Trust in the Lord with all your heart and lean not on your own understanding. In all your ways acknowledge Him and He will make your paths straight. Submit to Him and He will make your paths straight. Don't give up. Don't stop fighting what you feel like God put on your heart to fight for. Don't stop when times get hard. Don't stop when the enemy is so involved in stopping what God put on your heart. Because in time, you will reap a harvest. It may not be the time that you want it to be. It may not be as soon as you want it to happen. But in time, when the time is right, I, the Lord, will make it happen. And that goes for all things that you're going through. All the impossibilities of what you are going through right now. In its time, you did all things that God told you to do. You planted seeds. You watered seeds. But it's God that brings the increase. And He, in its time, will create a harvest. Whatever that may be for you. Whatever you've been just praying to God about. Whatever you've just been talking to God about. And just remember that His ways are higher than our ways. And His thoughts are not our thoughts. So it's easy to get flustered and confused and overwhelmed. Like, God, I thought I heard you right. God, I've been hearing you. I hear your voice because I know your voice. His sheep know His voice. But just because we know his voice and he tells us in part of something, it doesn't mean that it's right for right now. It could be later down the road. His ways are higher than our ways. We won't ever understand them. And his thoughts are not our thoughts. And if we try to understand his thoughts, we're just going to get more and more confused and more hurt, because it's not our place to know. He is a God that wants to surprise you. He is a God that, like when your parents give you gifts on your birthday or on Christmas or whatever, you're surprised and you're happy. You're like, oh, thank you guys. But our God is also one to reward his children and give gifts to them. So how much more valuable are the gifts that God gives you than the ones that your parents do? For he is our Father, so he's going to gift his children. He's going to gift us. And it may not be in our time. It may not be how we want to see it. But he will reward and he will gift you, because he loves you and he wants to just give you things that will surprise you and make you smile. He just wants to see you smile. And he loves you. I know that in the moment of his guidance at times it doesn't feel like he's there or he loves you, but he does. Because he's a way maker, he's a miracle worker, and he's a promise keeper. What he said to you, it will come to pass. But it may be coming through a miracle. It may be coming through a way where there is no way, so that he could surprise you and so that he gets all the glory for it. But yeah, that's really it for today. I just wanted to talk. There's nothing really special today. It's just reminding somebody out there that our God is a way maker. He's a miracle worker and he's a promise keeper, and he is who he says he is. Keep having faith even when it looks like what you're having faith for is the complete opposite of what you believe. For what you're believing for, if it's opposite of what you're believing for, keep having faith. Keep believing. Because God will part the Red Sea, and he will allow you to walk through it with ease. Just keep fighting and hold on to faith. The genuineness of our faith produces good fruit. And if you're at a point where you just want to quit and give up having faith, if you're exhausted and overwhelmed with faith, when it would be so much easier to just look at what you can see right now and just believe in that. If you want to give up, don't give up. Because those who endure to the end will be rewarded. Keep fighting. Keep having faith in what you're fighting for and praying for and having faith for and believing God for. Don't stop. don't forget He is right there with you in the middle of it. He wants to hear your prayer, even if it's broken. He wants to see you. He wants you to invite Him into your prayer life, and then just to how you feel and all your emotions and your baggage in the hard times and in the good times. He wants to be there. He hears you. Just allow Him to show up. Invite a place within your heart for Him to speak to you. Don't stop trying to seek the voice of your Father over this. It gets hard. Faith is a hard thing, and that's something that people don't talk about very often, or they don't go into depth of it. But faith is hard. Believing in something that you don't see is hard. But keep fighting. Because at the end of your fight, what you're fighting for is so worth it. And if it only gets you to a place where you're closer to Jesus, it's still worth it. Don't stop. Keep going. Keep fighting. Keep holding on. Dear God, thank you for this word that touched my heart and touched the lives of others. God, we thank you for your sovereignty over the things that we're going through. God, thank you for your love and just showing us, God, that you're here for us, God. And parting the Red Sea, God, parting our struggles and our troubles, and all the problems that life is throwing at us, God. Thank you for being there, parting it, God, because that was your promise for us to get to the other side of the storms that we're going through. Thank you for being a man of your word. God, I pray that you increase all of our faith and help us to trust in you. God, just send everyone out through their week, God, with greater faith, increased amount of faith, and trust in you, Father. I pray this in Jesus' mighty name. Amen. Thank you guys for listening. I know it's short, but I pray that whatever was said, it really touched your heart the way it touched mine. Just remember, our Jesus is good. Our problems may suck. Our situations may not be ideal to us, but our Jesus is so, so good, and He's there with you in the middle of it. Keep believing, keep having faith, and keep fighting. For those who keep their faith, for those who endure till the end, they will be rewarded. Don't stop. Keep going, keep fighting. Have a blessed week, everybody.